Hey everybody, let's jump into another episode of Hel Talk. As I mentioned in the previous episode, that I would have the guys come out and give their opinions on certain things. Uh, we have good news and bad news. Bad news is we only got one other guy to jump on today, but the good news is it's Maverick, and he knows everything about Heroclix, so uh, we don't need anybody else to join us. Isn't that right?
Oh yeah, I know everything. I know exactly what the meta
Yeah,
is. I know what's gonna win red, white, and clicks.
exactly.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, Maverick is famous for solving the meta in several minutes, and then uh, and then saying that everything else other than the team that he thinks is the best is garbage.
Sounds about
uh,
right. Sounds about right.
yeah.
Yeah. So this
Oh, but
year, red, white, and clicks, X-Men are gonna win.
yeah, but which one?
So that's the hard thing, right? So like, since Beetlejuice exists, Cable's a little bit, I don't know, and it also hurts Rogue, but Rogue's got a little more of a fighting chance. But that's why Juggernaut exists, to get rid of the Beetlejuice, right? So I don't. It's kind of up in the air on which one's gonna take it. But I mean, I think Cable is able to be Zolid, and I don't think Rogue can. So I think that might be. It's favoring Cable, I think.
Well, everybody can be solid.
Yeah, yeah. I, I think the points, because you're paying 110 for Rogue, and Cable you're paying what? I think he's like 70.
Yeah, but I mean, you're gonna be paying that anyway, regardless of what team they're on.
Yeah, I don't know. I just got a more feeling that Cable's gonna do it. Obviously, Chair Panther's on the winning team. That I don't think the winning team won't have Chair Panther.
You don't think the winning team?
Now, I think the winning team will have Chair Panther. I don't think it won't have him.
Oh,
There's just
okay.
no way that Chair
Hit,
Panther's just
hit
so
hitting us
powerful.
with the double negatives already. I don't think it won't happen.
Yeah, stumbling over my words. Yep. Uh, but I think Black Panther, Chair Panther's gonna win RWC.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why Share Panther would get any less popular, especially as time goes on. We're getting more and more sideline game elements that are extraordinarily strong. And I mean, I said this before, but in my opinion, I think a few of them are going to be banned, but they're going to have to see play first. It's going to be just like rivalry. It's going to be just like canon event, in my opinion, where people play them.
Yeah,
They're insanely strong, which forces people to play Chair Panther. Uh, but then you start getting into the uh, what do I want to say? The results will kind of speak for themselves potentially in the same way that they did before, where teams that didn't run Chair Panther did significantly worse on average. And it's kind of like, yeah, letting my opponent, have rivalry sucks. um, but who knows? Uh, but we'll see what happens. I just think,
you'd think that they'd fix that. You know what I mean? Like collectors tro like I don't know how far out sets are made. Like because we obviously know Strange Tales is already ready to be shipped out, right? So is Venom in the process of being made, or is it on
oh
pallets
yeah,
being
no,
sent to the US?
Venom is already done. I mean, from a design standpoint, Venom's already done. The order but they've been like that's um, they're the Batman set. So I mean,
So
but they
so right now they're in the process of making Batman?
I think probably every dial is finalized, if not nearly finalized for Batman right now. Um, because the actual like design process for a character is um it's based off of generally it's like especially with a licensed thing. So they're like, okay, what characters can we use? And usually, what I would guess is that they kind of already have pre-made dials or pre-made kind of things, and then they'll kind of you know apply those to certain characters. If for example, if they're like, hey, we have an idea for a new game mechanic, and we want to put it in this set, and they just kind of apply it to characters that they feel are appropriate. Like, okay, we have a ranged character that does this. And you're like, okay, well, this set's theme is going to be, like you said, a Batman set. Okay, well, what's a ranged Batman character? Oh, we'll just, put it on, Deadshot or something. You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, okay.
Mhm.
Uh,
That honestly
but
makes so much sense.
yeah, so I
The
think,
dials
I
that
think,
you put on and everything.
yeah, like I said, but who knows? Who knows if, it could be very could be equally as likely that WizKids is constantly scrambling to finish sets, and that's why we see the frequent copy paste errors, on cards, especially like um,
Mhm.
what was the big copy paste error on recently on the uh, it was that legacy card. Um,
Daredevil?
yeah, yeah, that was right. But after that, it was the one that like
Sure.
the trait referenced like another character like Druid or something, or was it Manifold,
Oh,
right?
yes, it was Manifold. It was referencing, I wanna say it was, Josiah X, I think is who it was referencing.
Yeah, or so you're right. It was someone they just copy and pasted a trait
Yeah.
over. I mean, they also I mean, you in the finalized Sentinel pack, it says DC Comics on the on the stuff. So you're like, all right, that's obviously because somebody had a DC Comics bystander and was like, all right, just swap it out for a Sentinel, and then they just forgot to put that in, which is again, it's odd to me that um what's it called that from a uh, like a visual design standpoint. I don't know why I can't think of the word, but that they wouldn't have a template, like a generic template that they're required to start on for each card, so that way there can be no errors like that, and ideally
Mhm.
you would have a kind of a digital system that has a UI that would say, okay, like if you were creating a custom, unit or something in HC units or whatever, be like, all right, I want this character to, this is the name of the character, this is, the trait, this is the whatever, and you just say, and it has like fields that you're required to enter. Um, and then you just click create, and then it's like, all right, here it is. And so that way you wouldn't have errors that like the DC comics on a Marvel character, error, because it would require you for each game element to pick the thing, and I don't know. It just I don't know, just seems like it's just such a funny error to make, uh, and very very surprising that it wasn't caught in the QC or review process.
Oh, Chef John.
Um, oh, cool. Hey, Chef. But we're just talking about the where we think WizKids is at with the design process of future stats, and we're talking about the Sentinel Strike Pack and how some of the cards in it say DC Comics, and how I think it's interesting that it shows that nobody in Marvel Comics reviews what WizKids makes, what the finalized product is. You know, they have to give them rules, but nobody there reviews it, because anybody associated with Marvel Comics reviewing that would go, "Hey, whoa, whoa, whoa!" Like, that's not our brand, you know. So, uh, so who knows? Who knows what, if anything's going to change because of that? Because I feel like that's a big, in the grand scheme of things, who cares? But Marvel Comics cares, so we'll see if anything
It's
happens
just a
because of that.
copy and paste job.
Yeah, but it's such a strange thing. And I was just telling Maverick before, like, why doesn't WizKids, I had like, hey, I'm in their graphic design department and I'm designing the cards and the bystanders and everything. Why don't you have a generic template that you're required to start from, instead of just, oh, I'm going to copy and paste the last thing that I was working on and then just change it from there. It's like that's what I do when I make custom bystanders. You know what I mean? Like, it, I
I
I
mean,
I
they might
don't.
have that like standard operating procedure or whatever. Maybe somebody's just taking shortcuts though.
Right, but still, it's still strange that there's no oversight in that process of, somebody took that shortcut, and everybody that reviewed it didn't see it, and clearly nobody from Marvel Comics, or even anybody that was loosely associated with the licensing of the Marvel Comics, looked at it. So again, it's just strange that that would end up being a finalized product. But we'll see. Yeah, because it was. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know. We've seen weirder things, but that to me was a different kind of strange error, because it's attributing the product to a different brand, and notably brands that don't want to be, be affiliated with each other. Um, but yeah, Maverick said that X-Men are going to win Red, White, and Clicks. Do you agree with that, Chef?
Yeah, it'd be hard to argue against that. I feel like just with Cable and Rogue and Emma Frost alone, just the primes alone, like not even taking the chases into consideration.
So if you had to pick one of those primes, specifically, which one do you think has the best odds?
I think Rogue,
And don't
but
be and don't be I was gonna say, and don't be biased, because I'm winning the whole thing, baby.
no, I think Rogue just has so many like little things that make her just better. Like, Cable's a great attacker, but I think Rogue she's a good attacker and she gives you so many other things as well.
I agree. She's so well rounded. When you're like, okay, she deals an insane amount of damage. She has, you know, one of the best uh movements, as far ignore character and blocking plus flight. You're like, okay, this is, so she moves anywhere she wants. She does insane damage, and then she's got a crazy level of kind of defense about her, where you're like, okay, yeah, I can't outwit her, I can't perplex her, I can't prob her attacks, I can't choose her for anything other than an attack. You're like, oh well, that's pretty wild. I mean,
Yeah, you just
and
gotta
the
kind of stay
only
on top of it because there's so many times like I forget, like people like perplex her down. I'm just like, okay. It's just like
Yeah,
you gotta remember all that shit. It's like you said, it's almost like playing Beetlejuice.
yeah. It's a different kind of Beetlejuice where yeah,
Yeah,
like the first time you play it, the game's over and you're like, oh, we forgot like 12 different things that I couldn't do. Yeah,
yeah,
you're like, yeah. Uh, but it's wild. And I think the only weakness that she has, and I think it's reasonable that she has it, is that she doesn't have willpower, just on her dial anywhere. So, but you can find ways of giving it to her.
yeah. I've considered giving her the armor, the destroyer armor, just to keep her going every turn. But I like giving her either the sword or animal man instead.
Yeah, yeah, just having, basically being able to be a potential Ares bomb is nasty, especially when combine a you can combine an Ares bomb attack with the terrain action attack that you can give her for free. So if you pick up a terrain marker that gives you, giant reach 3 or giant reach 4, and then now you can Ares bomb with that giant reach. So it is nasty.
Yeah, I was practicing one game against Rick, and he didn't Black Panther my Ares or my pin particles, and I just went across the map, pin particles, Ares, killed his whole fucking team. And he's like, "Okay, let's start over."
Yeah, it's like actually I'm gonna pick something else. Yeah, but that's kind of the thing that we're talking about when we practice is that will we know through practice what what the opponent should do. We're like, okay, this is what the opponent would do if they were playing optimally. But in the moment, you're gonna make mistakes all the time. And a Black Panther, Chair Panther choice, you choose the wrong thing, and there you go. And you might not realize it's the wrong thing in the moment. You'd be like, hey, I chose good things. I got rid of their mimic and their Beetlejuice. Oh, cool. And you're like, oh, like you just lost because of that. So pretty wild.
Yeah, I don't even remember what he picked. I think he picked Power Gem and what else did he pick? I can't remember the other thing he picked, but I was like, okay, you're gonna let me go over there and hit you. Go ahead, that's fine. Like, you want your opponent to make that mistake. You're just like, yeah, that's fine. Sounds good to me.
So Maverick, what if you had to pick one of the X-Men pieces? Had to pick one. Which one's winning?
Only one Juggernaut.
Juggernaut. Really?
Yeah, like it's definitely gonna. It's an X-Men team, so I think that he. I don't know. I just think that he's the one. I mean, he's probably gonna be played with either Prime Rogue or Prime Cable, but like still, I think he's gonna be the one.
We're talking X-Men 97 though.
Yeah, I mean,
He
well,
said
Juggernaut
any.
is technically is an X-Men, so
I don't know. I think Rogue easily beats Juggernaut though. She just hits him, he loses his gem. Now he's nothing.
Yeah, but Rogue and Juggernaut together is where it's at.
I don't know. In my opinion, it's too easy to tie Juggernaut down. You just walk someone up to him and say good luck. Like find a cheap plasticity piece or not plasticity, shape change piece. Just walk them up next to Juggernaut. Hopefully Juggernaut don't hit breakaway.
yeah, you meant plasticity, right?
Or yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
So outside of any X-Men pieces, regardless of what set they come from, what do you see making top cut?
Chair Panther, Degaton,
Yeah, I was
Copycat,
gonna say for Degaton, yeah.
Yeah,
um,
the
potential.
cheapest,
Okay,
best support pieces.
If Rogue is being played, I think Sinestro Legacy is just so good with Rogue. But I don't know if he'll be on the final winning team.
You talking about the Colossal?
Yeah. He just does so he screws people up so much.
Yeah, you gotta like go hit him first, or else yeah, your whole game is gonna be messed up.
How about this? You can say, is this more likely to happen or not? So, do you think a team? I'm thinking of other like primary attackers. It's like it's very easy to say, oh yeah, every support character just they're gonna be good. But do you
SOV will
think a
never be
team?
good.
Yeah, do you think a team with Prime Abomination is more likely to make top cut, or say more than 50%? Gonna make top cut
For
or
how
less.
bad half the players are, yeah.
You're saying is Abomination gonna make top cut? Yeah, I think he will for sure.
Yeah, because again, I'm mainly looking at, as I was saying before, like pieces that run through everything. If you run through blocking, over elevation, or you fly or whatever.
He's one of those pieces where if you go first, you've got a good chance of just winning turn one almost, or turn two, whatever. You're probably going over there attacking like 14 for 5 or 6 damage and just destroying something in one attack, and then you get your flurrying as well. So you're taking out at least their best piece, maybe possibly two.
Yeah, but I mean, what do you guys think about the direction WizKids seems to be going? I mentioned this the other day, but I don't think it's going to be used all over the place. I don't even think it's going to be used really that frequently. I feel like if it is, it's going to be terrible for the state of the game. But when they're, in the future, when Strange Tales comes out, there's going to be effects, like Doctor Doom Supreme, that prevent your opponent from generating any terrain, which effectively means that you can now alpha strike with any character that has the movement or the range to do so, regardless of if they run through or shoot through blocking, because your opponent can't generate any of it. Is
Oh no, it
that
already doesn't exist to me anyways. So
right? I understand, but what I'm saying is that it expands the uh, the viable list of character. It expands the list of characters that are viable to run as an alpha strike.
for
Yeah,
the
but I
point
think
sync, 75 points, right? I don't think the point sync can really I don't think it outweighs the fact that I still have to pay, 100 points in main attackers, at least 100 points, just for them to now be able to get across the map easier. But now I'm taking away points from my support for just someone that says no barrier, essentially.
Yeah, again, like I said, I'm not saying him specifically is good or is even going to think, but I'm just saying just uh, just the idea that effect exists in the game. Like for example, I don't think it's going to be healthy in Silver Age. If you're playing a Silver Age game, you're like, oh, okay, I'll play, Doctor Doom. Sure, I can fit 75 points on that, and now my Sky Tyrant just hits anybody I want. You can't bury your way out of it. Is that good?
I
I
think it.
understand there's things.
I think it is. I think if you're trying to bring the range game back, I think that's a good effect. Um, like range is still a thing in silver, I feel like, but in modern, like there's not too many strong range attackers. Everyone's running up and flurrying or charge hypersonic across them. Everything's close combat. All the best attackers are close attackers, I feel like. And I think that's part of the problem. With the maps being small, it's just like you like I said, I feel like going first in this modern era right now is probably the strongest chance of winning you have ever. Like going first. I feel like going first gives you like 60% chance of winning right out of the gate.
Yeah, 100%. I think that ever since, well, I should start with ever since the change of map size, the game has progressively gotten more just who goes first. Um, and I mean, there has been times where you could have like a team to clap back, but a lot of teams don't have that capability. Um, and I think besides that change, the overall of the game has always been close oriented, but like there's always been a chance for you to survive the game, and that's just gone out the window completely. And fixing it with the one shots is what it seems like they're doing, and that just breaks the game more because the characters that are doing the alpha are going to benefit from the one shots as well, instead of it just being defensive, for the people that are going second.
Yeah, I mean, I like the one shots. I feel like they're a good idea, but I also feel like they're also ruining the game too. They're not. I wouldn't say ruining the game, but they're making. There's like how many one shots have been banned already, and they've only been in what 2 or 3 sets now.
What, three
Like
of
I feel
them?
like they're just too powerful. Like 10 points, I can just make my guy a giant, or I guess it's 5 points. Pin particles and Ares, 5 points. I can kill 6 characters possibly in one attack.
Yeah,
The
yeah, that's
side the
pretty wild.
sideline stuff is just it's crazy.
Yeah, and as I was, yeah, I mentioned this before too, but things, yeah, when you're looking like how was rivalry ever printed? That's
Yeah.
it's like, huh? And I feel the same way about Halt Mutant. I feel like it is
I think
ridiculous
it
wrong.
was okay, but the problem was is that it was able to be triggered by your own effects.
Yeah, exactly. Canon event, instead of getting banned, could have easily been errated to say that it has to be KO'd by an
Somebody
opposing
opposing.
effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then your opponent can play around it. They can be like, oh, okay, like I was going to KO your support piece and then attack your main attacker, but if I do that, you'll be immune. So I just gotta attack your main attacker first and let you get your prob. That's the cost of it.
Well, I feel like it's the same thing with. I feel like the practice teamwork one is too strong. Like anything where you can get carried and still attack with any characters. I don't know. This is insane.
That one
Like
doesn't
look at
feel
Cable.
bad.
Look at Cable. You can carry Cable. You flip that card, do his attack. Then he gets a free running shot or a free attack. So if he's pulse waving, he can kill your whole team in one turn. Like it'll just be game over.
Yeah, yeah. Especially, yeah, it's like, it's wild. And I think right now the one of the best Alpha Strike combos is Zala into bringing over Cable. The only argument against it right now is like, well, Barrier does beat Zala if you put Barrier in the
Right.
way and Zala doesn't have anybody to attack. But that just goes back to like, okay, like is that the team you played the Doctor Doom on?
Yeah, then you just bring Doctor Doom. That's what I say. You got Zala, Doctor Doom, Cable. If I go first, it's game over. It's game. Oh, I guess you can place your blocking terrain at the beginning of the game and kind of do
Yeah,
something with
but
that.
again,
But
like I was saying, if you're going first, you would, as the Zala player, you would have just elevated terrain
yeah,
as your terrain marker. So you would just put the elevated terrain to just say, okay, you cannot place your blocking here.
try to just make it so they can't place it there.
Yeah, and then they'd be like, okay, well now they have to try to block you in or something. You know what I mean? But it's just like again, if you just put the elevated terrain in spots that you're like, I can just run all the way across, and that's it. And you're like, oh, okay, that kind of stinks, but we'll see. I don't know. As Maverick said, I think 75 for that Doom is a little hefty. He's very squishy. Other than that, uh, but who knows? Who knows? It's just it's weird, and it's the Zala team still works even without the Doom, because you could just put Crimson Gem on anybody else and have them run through the walls first, but that just costs you another action. Because it was pretty wild when we were first practicing that team with Miguel on Roll20, and it was like, oh yeah, Zala's gonna come over. It's the no shape change, no super senses, no mastermind, no mystics. I just hit you. Okay, cool. And then Cable comes over, and then he's gonna shoot you. No shape change, no super senses, no mastermind.
Right.
Plus universal weapon. And then now free running shot again, no shape change, no super sense. It's just like, what the, like, okay, I get it. It's almost like a rune marker. Like, you don't have powers, buddy. Like,
Yeah.
just
Basically, yeah.
you just get hit by everything. And you're like, all right, not much you can do.
Maverick sending pictures of outside.
After I was looking at my phone, I'm like, what's going on? Oh, Northern Lights.
Yeah, my wife just told me to go outside and see if I can see it, so I'm gonna go check it out.
Let's see. What does it look like? Oh, it's all red with Maverick's thing.
I'm not seeing anything. Yeah, I don't see nothing.
But yeah, so I was just thinking, if it's, I get the game design philosophy that WizKids was shooting for when they shrunk the maps, in the sense that bigger maps, those first couple turns in just setting up, to do the alpha strike, they were quote unquote unnecessary. Like, if we just remove a turn from each player of them kind of doing nothing and just skip to the turn where the first attack is made, then we can get the game going quicker. I just think the problem becomes that first attack that's being made is always done by the first player. Where I think in the past, while it was rare, I think there were times where even going second, you could get the first attack by having a defensive setup which prevented the alpha strike from your opponent. And then you could be the first one to attack. I just that's not possible in today's game. There is no way to prevent the first player from getting the first attack. You can't do it.
I mean, what do? Get rid of first turn immunity at that point?
I think that's that just that changes the. I don't know. It's a question. It's a good question in the sense that I think first immunity perhaps should. What if it was literally what it says, which is just the first turn of the game, the first round, in the sense that
Well, that
the
makes
player
going
going,
second benefit.
yeah, it's kind of like, right, but the difference is that the player going second doesn't have a turn to set up. So generally, it's like, not right now. It's okay. Player one, this is their setup turn. Meaning, like, okay, the next turn I'm going to alpha strike. So let's set up my alpha strike. And then player two gets a turn to try to prevent it or defend themselves, but you really can't. And then player one, after setting up the first turn, now gets to alpha strike. Whereas if first turn immunity only applied for literally the first turn of the first player, so just the first player, just like in, I don't know, like most card games, you can't attack on your first turn, but this player two can.
Right, that's how
Because you
like
have these,
Pokemon is and shit like that. Yeah.
yeah, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, all that stuff. Yeah, it's just like, hey, you can't attack on your first turn because the player two didn't even have a chance to put anything down yet. Like, okay, but if it was the reverse where player one has that opportunity to basically set up defensively,
Like shell up, yeah.
and then player two could alpha strike now first, but they don't have that setup turn, so they can only alpha strike from wherever the pieces are, which would make things like Predegaton even stronger,
More
I
valuable,
think. But
yeah.
yeah, but I think it would be stronger in a good way, in the sense they'd be like, yeah, you can attack me right now, but the piece that you want to alpha strike with, like, isn't next to all of your perplexers
Right.
anymore.
It's not by
So
your
you can alpha
TK and
strike.
any of that shit, yeah.
Yeah, like, yeah, exactly. You can, like, you could get to me, but it's gonna take you maybe 2 more costed actions to get over to me. So, I don't
Yeah.
know. But
I like the small maps. I do. It's just like there's gotta be some kind of change because I feel like going first is just too powerful right now.
right, because
And that's why I chose to go theme team on my, red, white, and clicks. I was like, I gotta play theme because going first is just you have so much more of a chance to win, I feel like.
yeah, because it's one thing to think of, like, oh, not only am I the first, I have the first attack in the game. Like, that's just an advantage in itself. But it's no, I have the first, like, 3 attacks, and they're all strong enough to KO multiple characters. You're like, oh, that's like, that seems a little too
Right.
good.
If you're not playing Chair Panther against me, I'm coming across Rogue. I'm hitting you with Ares, and then I'm following up with a free close attack if anybody's still alive. Like it's if I hit, it's game over. It's just that you're done. It's over. And then on
Yeah,
top of that, I can outwit your power and take it. Like if you got a Pegasus cap, I could just come over there, outwit his attack power. Now you don't have any defense for anybody. Like I don't
yeah,
know.
exactly. It's wild to think of, like, okay, yeah, right. Like, ideally, it's, you pin particles, you come over. As you're coming over, you pick up a terrain marker that gives you giant reach as well.
Yeah.
You hit everybody with an Ares bomb, and if anybody does live, yeah, you end adjacent to them, then you outwit something that they got, you get that power, and then you do the terrain action, that you're carrying,
Yeah.
and you're like, yeah, it's like, all right, you're cooked, brother. Like,
Yeah. Now
just,
you can't outwit me and try to hit me. Go ahead. Here you go. Do
yeah,
that.
like, you would be dealing, because Rogue has what, printed 4 damage, right?
Yeah. I'm playing her with the broadsword too, so basically a printed 5.
Right, yeah. So the minimum blades damage is a 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, if you're coming over and you're hitting 3 characters with blades, and you're doing minimum to each, so it's like, and you would say, ideally too, you'd
And you can knock them
probably,
back.
what, you'd pick exploit, probably, you know.
Well, I'm not playing her with Animal Man. That's the thing.
Oh, that's true. Okay, so but it comes also with close combat expert as well. So
Right.
yeah, but anyway, it's 4 damage. So if let's say you hit 3 characters, 4 damage each, and then you have a follow up terrain action attack for, that'd be like 7 damage.
6 or 7, yeah.
Yeah. So you're like, all right, well, there's freaking 19 damage.
Right. If I roll a 6 on blades, that's 7 damage plus another 6 or 7 from a terrain. I'm killing anything I want, basically. Like if
Yeah.
I roll good enough.
Yeah. It's like I said, we assume minimum damage is effectively 19.
Printed.
So if you say on average like 20 damage, like is 20 damage from a single character alpha strike? that's the attack itself and all that stuff is one costed action, but it's gonna be a TK, so
Right.
you're like,
That's
is
2
it
actions.
again? But yeah, you're like, is 20 damage? Is that a healthy amount of alpha strike damage? I don't know. I don't know if it is. Because it's also unpreventable.
Yeah.
If you told your opponent, okay, well, what could you have done? Anything like build a team, even if you're like, oh, I'm gonna build, Beetlejuice and with Prime Sinestro, and you're like, it's like, okay, I can still come over an Ares bomb, and then I'll use one other person, after that to attack something else, and you're like, it's still like still wild that you know and it's just still it's so stupid. But either way,
I know Rogue does not need that free attack. She does not need that free action at the end, I feel like.
yeah, especially when it's a terrain action too. You're like, that's it's like,
Yeah.
you really don't need that. But yeah, it's because I just think I think the answer to the question of like, should there be a way where your opponent can prevent or mitigate any alpha strike? If I just say, here's an alpha strike, prevent it entirely. Like, should there be a way to prevent it entirely, even if that
No.
requires you building a specific team that doesn't do well against any other team? I feel like the answer to that question should always be yes, and it's not in this case. If you're like, oh, I want, prevent Rogue from making an attack on somebody, like
There
you can't.
was. It was called the barrel.
Right. That's what I mean. Like that was
So
it.
that's
Like,
fine. Yeah.
yeah. Now it's too bad. Too bad. It's so sad, buddy. Like,
Yeah.
so
I feel like
I'm
Ares just has to take a ban already, I feel like.
yeah. That's another thing too. Ares is it's just, Ares is too good.
I remember last year on the way to Red, White, and Clicks, this Black Panther had just came out. We were talking. You're like, what do you think the best piece in Black Panther is? And I was like, Ares, and you're like, I totally agree with you. And like, it is like it
Yeah.
just is.
Yeah. Like, what other game element costs 0 points and just says, if I do the thing for 0 points, I win the game?
Yeah.
Nothing comes close.
Shit. Make them cost points or something. I don't know. You gotta do something.
Yeah.
Because like
Or
if he's
even if
20
he,
points, you think people pay for that? I think people still do. Yeah.
yeah, even if he didn't cost points to put on the sideline, if he just gave your opponent victory points when it's used. So even if you missed the attack, your opponent still got points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that would still be fine. But it's the fact that it's like 0 points. If I'm it's like if I hit the attack, I win the game. That's just pretty much it.
That's just how this game is right now, though. I feel like it's just what it is.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm hoping things like I think the only true defensive thing right now that's coming out in the near future is that Sentinel head object. I think pretty much everybody should be using that. I don't see why not.
Not even sure
The
what
only
that is.
thing
I've looked at all of it. I don't remember it very well though.
it's the thing that just says, oh, if you get hit, you can just destroy the the terrain marker, and then you don't get hit.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it literally
was
says that. I
the
can
body.
bring up HC units.
Sentinel arms. Oh no.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's the upper body that says you don't take damage.
Oh, it's upper body, not head. Oh man, I'm.
Head is opposing characters within 3 squares can't use shape change, stealth, brotherhood, or X-Men. Which that's also really fucking good.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, I'm so dumb. Then I was saying the wrong thing. I was saying the wrong thing in two different ways. But it's not the head. It's the like I said, it's the upper body, and then it's not that they don't take damage. They take
So it's
one
basically
damage. So it's
fortify.
yeah.
Fortify.
It's another yeah. It's another fortify that can't be Chair Panther.
Yeah.
Now, if you're holding it, does it work? Because it says occupying this terrain.
Yes,
So I
because
don't
it's
think so,
effect
no.
terrain.
Oh.
Okay.
But yeah, there has to be something to help people going second somehow, I feel like a legacy card for the traffic barrel.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. What's unfortunate is that if they make a legacy card, for anything that's good like that, it's not gonna be good. You can do something completely different.
That was my favorite thing to use in Heroclix. It's crazy. Because
I
I
could
like
see
going
them.
I like going second. I like being able to pick the map and that kind of lets you do that. So
Yeah, but I feel like too, like I wouldn't be surprised if they made a one shot that just says until your next turn, opposing characters can't use improved movement.
that I'd play that every single time.
Yeah,
Like,
right. I know everybody would.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's because it would be like, traffic barrel was 5 points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it took
So
a terrain spot.
yeah. So a one shot being 5, say if it's 5 points, but it only works for one turn.
What if they made that for just like first turn in general? Like no improved movements on first turn or something like that.
That would change
Well,
so
it
much from the state it is.
it would still work for second turn though, right? Then I mean,
I guess that's
but
true. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. That it just I feel like it's just gonna ruin the game. Like I feel like if I just keep losing fucking turn one every time, I'm just gonna get tired of playing this game.
And that's like you said, it's why you're playing the theme.
Yeah, I mean that is the main reason.
Because it was also pretty bad before they changed the calculation for role of first player. Because back when it was if you if
Plus
you were
11.
yeah, people be like plus 11, plus 13 or whatever to their bonus, and it's just like what the heck.
Like we
So
don't even need to roll. You go first. There you go. Yeah.
yeah, that's
They're
literally how it was.
Aryan Doom, baby.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, you are like, are you a theme team? Yeah. What are you, plus 7? Oh, I'm plus 13. Like what the heck? Like,
Was for how many characters you had or something? I don't know.
yeah, it was one for every
Yeah, it was
character
every
that was on your.
character.
Yeah.
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 Plus 11.
Yeah, Laverian Doom, baby. That was the shiz, man. Plus 11, plus 12, past, future theme teams.
Plus 12. Like, yeah, I'm not rolling. Go ahead. That's crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, because going first was so strong, and I feel like I agree. I feel like going first is even stronger now because the maps are smaller.
Yeah.
I understand the swap of the maps to a point. I mean, the play space is not taken up as much as it used to would take up.
Right.
But like, the gameplay mechanic, they didn't stick with the fact of small ranges because they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna do small ranges, and you could easily see that through all the sets, right? And then you look at the legacy cards, and you're like, well, that was the problem. You shouldn't have made the legacy cards have
I,
30 range.
I don't think the range is the problem. It's the movement. It's how far characters can move. Like you
Yeah,
got guys that move 12, like just 12 on their own and break everything, and it's like there's nothing I can do.
Animal Man shouldn't exist, at least in the sense of giving out hyper. I think that's the big thing. I think hyper should have stayed as a very limited power, and I think full movement charge shouldn't exist either anymore. I think
I
it
can
should
see
be
like a
just a
character
half.
here and there having it, but if you're gonna give them full movement charge, don't make it 10 or 12. You know, it's like
Yeah, like a
make it
great example
fucking
would be like
6 or 7 or something. Like yeah,
Reverse Flash. He's only really most of the time doing like one damage each attack, but it's precision strike, so it's really good. But on average, his damage output ain't like crazy. It's consistent and good. It's just not like, well, I just dealt you 12 damage.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, me and Matt were talking about a while back. I had this like my idea was like, make the movements. The movements can stay, consist. Like you can make characters have 8, 9 movement. That's fine, but just make charge or hypersonic. Make it like a universal charge is 3 or 4 square movement. It doesn't matter how much your character moves or something. Like I don't know. There has to be something that prevent. That's why close combat's so good right now because the maps are small and every character can move 12 squares and hit you.
I agree. I feel like
Is
it would it overall. I
well,
don't think it would be a positively received change. I think a lot of people would hate it. But yeah, if charge, for example, instead similar to pulse wave,
Right.
where I think because I think right, Maverick in the past didn't pulse wave. It halved your range, right?
Right. Yeah, I
yeah,
remember when I
Pulse
used to
Wave
play
used
back in
to
the day, it was
half
always half the
range.
range. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and then they
that's
were
the
like,
only
now
thing
it's
changing
range of
because it
4.
was outside of the range. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, pulse wave used to be half your range and then do it. Now it's just range 4. Similar to that, instead of charge saying half your speed, if it just said speed value of 3 or something, and so you
Right.
could still perplex it because it's a replacement value, but it would just be like, look, that's your range, like you're charging that far, and then you could have other characters that if you say, oh well, this character I want him to charge for further, just say, okay, well, charge, but instead replace or instead of 4 or instead of 3, the speed value is 5 or something, and that
Yeah, I
way it
can
just gives
charge
hard.
5 instead of 3 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it gives like a hard limit of like, look, like, so you're not saying, oh, the same thing like with hypersonic speed. You could be like, yeah, they can move, up to, 4 squares or something, and then they can punch and they can move up to 4 more squares. So, I don't know. Like, so that way you're not saying, oh, hypersonic speed is effectively full movement charge. Like that's what it is in the sense. That's what people are using it as. So
Yeah.
instead of saying like, so that way, like Maverick was saying, instead of going every single character that comes out that moves through blocking, okay, we'll just put Animal Man on him, and then that's Alpha Strike
Yeah.
automatically.
Now he can hit you without any help. Yeah.
Exactly, because he flies, so he moves over everything, and he runs through walls. That's it. We're
And
done.
he has sidestep. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Is he gets flight. That is ridiculous.
He gives flight and dolphin. Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing I was gonna say is range sucks because maps are just fucked in general. Like Major Box Bunker. All right, well my range character can't see like half your figures,
That's what
and
I'm
the
saying. I
amount
don't
of
think range
setup
is the
it takes.
problem. Like you said, they made all the ranges smaller. It doesn't matter. My range can be 46. If I'm playing on Box Bunker, it ain't gonna help me. It doesn't.
Yeah, it takes double the amount of actions to get a character in place to make a range attack on Brock's Bunker than it does to get a
Right.
close attack. And that like I think a fix to that would be like if more characters had destroy blocking shoot, destroy one piece of blocking, I think that would
There's a
help.
lot of that. There's a lot of that
It,
in X-Men, which I noticed, which is good.
but that is one way to fix it. But the other thing is like if you do that, then barrier is the most useless freaking power in the game. Like it's
Right now
almost
it
as
is,
bad
yeah.
as smoke cloud. Like, and that's saying something. Smoke cloud's a joke. Like, and barrier's
Smoke
close
cloud
to
should
it.
just be a free action. It shouldn't be a costed action.
Yeah, it should be free action, two pieces of
Yeah,
smoke. I think that would fix. Yeah, two pieces would do plenty of work. But
I know.
yeah,
I don't know the last time I used costed smoke cloud. I maybe ever.
I used it with a bat and it didn't do shit. But yeah, I think range needs to be fixed. Maps need to be especially fixed because you could nerf the movement on a melee character or a close character, right? And if the map's still so conjumbled together, you're still just gonna see close characters, you know. But if the map's more open, you're gonna get a mix of range and close. And that's where certain legacy characters, if maps are more open, they should get their nerfs, a nerf to range, but to that point.
Yeah, and unfortunately,
Bring back 12 range.
but exactly, it's just like you said, Chef. They could give many characters 12 range, and it wouldn't change how the games are
It wouldn't make them
played
any
out.
better. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you said, give me 47 range. Doesn't matter. Same thing.
Because I can
A
only see
range
3
of four.
squares in front
Yeah,
of me. Yeah.
exactly. A range of 4 and a range of 20 are the same thing. Same thing. Like
Thanos
Yeah.
was
I
the
don't.
only
basically
the
Reddit.
only thing the only difference between a range 4 and a range higher than 4 is only for people with probability control. That's the only
Or
thing it would change is that
yeah.
when I'm using my alpha strike, the people that are in my starting area can prob me. It's like that's the only thing that would change. Uh,
I don't know. They need to do something to buff ranged attacks. I feel like. And what it is, I don't know. Like maybe, I mean, ideas are like instead, if they have 3 bolts, maybe you don't divide the damage up if it's a range attack or something. I don't know. You gotta do something.
I think the idea that, like you said, we had before of just changing how charge, running shot, and hypersonic work, just in general, giving them replacement movement speed values. It would feel weird at first, I think, for everyone to go, oh, so when it doesn't matter when any character uses charge, doesn't matter who they are, they all charge the same amount. It's like, yeah, unless they have a special version of it. Like, there you go.
Well, you
Um,
made a good point with like pulse wave. Yeah, it doesn't matter who's pulse wave, and it's 4 pulse wave, 4 range pulse
yeah,
wave.
yeah, like they did it before, they could do it again, and it would it would also speed up turns in a sense because you could more easily calculate the effective reach of a character. You like, look, you got TK, you got this many perplexes, and you're using charge. Okay, I that's all I need to know. I don't even need to look at your character's speed value.
Yeah.
So that way speed value could be tied to other powers. Like, oh, hey, if this character moves its full speed value, then do something else. Like, or I don't know. Just
Yeah.
throwing out an example of someone that, say, for example, like a character that had 10 movement with charge, but they said, oh, if they move their full speed value, then modify defense, +1 or 2. You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh, okay. So if I do run all the way, I'll have a different bonus versus
Yeah.
dealing 20 damage to the
Yeah.
opposing team. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, who the fuck am I to tell them what to do? But it's just like something's got to change, or else it's gonna get worse. I feel like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I'm
right
not.
now, like charge, and hypersonic are effectively like dark side omega beams.
Yeah.
It's you run through everything, go over around everything, and you hit whoever you want. And
Yep.
then a range attack is like I don't know, like shooting a paperclip gun. Like you ain't not
Pea
gonna hit nothing.
shooter. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just like, all right, just throwing paper airplanes around. You're like, what the hell you doing?
I know it's
Whereas,
crazy.
it's like ideally you would like it for a range attack to have more range. It's like the reach on a range attack should be more than the reach on a close attack, but it doesn't work out that way for some reason.
Yeah.
But again, it's also because the way that they design maps, and unfortunately, when you have like if Brock's Bunker and Alien Aquarium and maybe like one or two other maps, if just literally less than a handful of maps, if they didn't exist, then range attacks could actually work. They might be a thing, but
So the problem is remove people making maps, except for WizKids. That's really what the problem is people shouldn't be able to make maps unless it's through WizKids themselves.
well, it's the if there are people that do make maps, they're making them with the knowledge of not necessarily exploiting the game, but they know how the game is played. They know
It's
what's
exploiting.
best under the current rule set, so they're going to make a map that plays to that style that they're thinking of.
Like let me look up red.
Like I feel like Brock's Bunker came out. And they're like, oh yeah, look, if you go second, now you have a chance to kind of have a clapback or survive an alpha. And then they were like, well, that's a problem. So now we need to make characters that can. they fixed it to where Brock's Bunker didn't help you anymore. I don't know. It's just
Right.
weird.
Exactly, because if people complain about, oh well,
Counter to the counter
I
to the
just I,
counter.
I I can't even get to them because there's so many walls and so many things,
Yeah.
and then it's like, okay, yeah, and then now all the things that prevented that are gone, and now you have a handful of insanely powerful characters that just don't care about anything when they
It's a
move.
white map. It's a blank map for the most part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you
Honestly,
just
if
go,
people
oh well,
design
is
maps
that
like how
healthy?
Wes's maps are for red, white, and clicks, that then we'd be good. Like those maps are completely reasonable, not
I think
broken.
Jay Patel designed those.
Whoever designed them, props to them,
Pre-
bro. You know how to
Pretty sure it was
design a
Jay
map
Patel.
that doesn't absolutely make me want to kill myself when I play a game.
Doesn't these maps don't make me want to kill myself? 5 stars.
Yeah, I'm like playing against Miguel, and I'm like, Major Brock's Bunker is just fucking gay, dude. Like, this is the most unfun. Like, you think that you're doing okay on it, and then you're just like, well, I built a new team and I want to play it. I didn't think about Major Brock's Bunker. This team
you
sucks.
yeah you
Like,
you have to have a team that can play on that map because I feel like 8 times out of 10 that's the map you're gonna play on. Like
yeah, it's just like, wow. So the game becomes first off, the becomes dry playing on the same map all the damn time, and
yeah
you're running through the same motions, and it's just like, all right, do my dice hit? No, all right, congrats, you won. Oh, my dice
yeah.
hit.
Basically, it just comes down to
All
like
right.
dice rolls, like you said. Who rolled higher? Yeah.
It's like once you play on a map enough, you just know exactly what the outcome is the second something happens. It's just like the game just feels dry as hell right now. That's really the only way I can put it.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like I did not like silver, but now I feel like I like silver more than I like modern, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, you could play ranged in silver. You could
Yeah,
play
you
whatever.
can
You
play
could play
anything in
whatever the hell you
silver.
want,
Yeah,
and inevitably it can work. Anything can work in silver. There is a way to make it all work, but
yeah. It's just pretty interesting how in like a 2 3 year span, it like completely opposite of how I used to look at it.
Yeah, I'm still surprised that freaking Camo won Silver Age. I was like, what the hell?
That piece needed to win something. He's so good.
Yeah, he deserves something at some point.
Yeah.
Like, and one point to bring up is when Sky Tyrant was modern and that modern age, right, forever ago. All right, it didn't feel that bad when Sky Tyrant went up because there was actually a good chance that he misses and you get the easiest points of your life, you know? And even if he hit, he's he was alone almost most of the time. So you had a good, it wasn't impossible to KO him. And then the rest of their team's like still on the
I
other
don't
side of
know,
the map.
Maverick. I think Sky Tyrant. It was Sky Tyrant Power Gem. You hit twice and you're back in your starting area, and then they bury you around him.
And then you got what was it called? A respawn token, or what is it?
Resurrection
Yeah,
token.
the
Yeah,
resurrection or whatever
yeah,
thing. Yeah,
resurrection
yeah.
token. Yeah.
Listen, when I don't know. Back then it didn't feel as bad. I didn't want to just
No,
flip
it
off
was
the table
it was
every
it
hit.
was bad. It was bad.
I don't think so, bro. Playing against SOV compared to Sky Tyrant, I would rather play against Sky Tyrant.
Well, SOB's just bullshit because there's just 9 million points of free shit from the sideline. Like, I feel like a lot of the problems in the game come from sideline.
Yeah, I could.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
and, another problem is just how expensive the game has gotten.
yeah, I don't know if
Like
it hasn't really got any
I feel like it's
more or
always
less
been expensive.
expensive.
Yeah.
it's been expensive, but it's gotten significantly more. Like a cheap
I don't think
meta
so. In what
team
way?
ain't as cheap as it used to be. You know, like
You can say that about
for
anything,
example,
though.
if you think of like Fantastic Four, that was like super cheap. That was like 60, $70 for a really, really, really solid team. And now it's like you're paying like 150, 200.
I don't know. There
You
was
know,
there was like $700,000 teams when it was Masters of Evil and
I'm about to
Mephisto
say
stuff.
Masters of Evil changed all that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, especially
With
even and then before that,
Apocalypse and Genesis and
yeah,
yeah.
APOC, Genesis, like those are $1,000 teams, like all over the place. I
yeah, I'm
feel
not
like
saying that they never
now,
existed. I just feel like that there's no true cheap meta right now.
I mean, but can you point to $1,000 team right now?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I think it's gone down. I think the cost of meta entry has gone down because it's not like, oh, I have to play 2 Alter Chases and two
I
grand
mean,
prize pieces and
if you take
yeah,
Prime Rogue off of my team, it's like a fucking $20 team, if that.
right. That's what I mean. Like, I would be hard pressed to see like $500 teams. I don't. I think most teams are less than $500.
Oh, I guess if you count this, I'm not thinking about equipment and stuff like that though, like animal. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
my main force just on the map is literally commons and uncommons, other than Prime Rogue. I just want to get over there. I just want to play so bad.
I just want to play something.
I just played a game with Braylon. We played the X-Men. We were playing like, all the shit I've pulled. I don't have any chases or primes or anything, so we're just. He made a team and he had Phoenix come in from the sideline at the end of the game, and I still had super rare Rogue and the rare Nightcrawler left, basically top dial. And he just fucking made a complete comeback and almost won. I beat him with my little CSA agent with precision
The
strike at the end
CSA agent.
to win the game. Yep. Cheat? Are you a cheater? CSA agent took out Phoenix. It was great. No, it wasn't. It was not great.
I've been seeing a lot of people talk about there was another person from X-Men. I don't know if she was a CSA person or maybe she generated a CSA agent. What is
Yeah,
her
it's
name? Let's see.
what is her name? Cooper, Valerie Cooper. That's who I played.
Yeah, yeah. I see a lot of people like, okay, I don't know.
Leadership,
I don't
shape
know.
change, and she's just shitting those things out. They're like sidestep, 10 attack with police team ability, precision strike. They're not bad. She's only like 25 points.
Yeah, yeah. And she's got the TK and plus she got an interesting trait of
I had the card right here. Where's that?
yeah, it says when a friendly character is hit after resolutions, you can KO her. And then if you do, you heal that character 2 clicks. Modify their combat values +1 until the end of your next turn, even if this is lost, because well, it will be because she's dead.
I didn't even pay attention to that, to be honest. That's why you read, kids.
Yeah, but I think that's another good kind of like defensive-ish effect. I mean, she's kind of like a 25-point shot that has leadership, shape change, and all this other stuff.
And
Um,
TK, yeah. I mean, just for
yeah,
leadership TK alone, she's, worth it, I feel like.
yeah, because it's like
Even
if
if
they
you get enough
do
of
it,
those police team abilities, too, like,
yeah,
it's
and
pretty
yeah,
good.
because we were just talking about how range attacks are so good. No,
Yeah. No, I mean, that was the problem, though. Like, I was playing those, and I didn't have any range attackers. I had Nightcrawler and Rogue. I'm like, well, this is fucking useless.
but yeah, I don't know. I don't know who would you. I mean, I obviously it would be ideal to heal somebody with a stop click. Because if
Yeah.
like, oh, somebody got hit, okay, that character, would normally go to my stop click, or maybe would, well, yeah, it would actually. That's the only thing because they heal after resolution. So if the hit would KO them, it doesn't work. So yeah, if they have a stop click, you can heal them off of that and get +1 combat values, and it works in its unlimited range. So that is another thing too. Is
Yeah, it does, yeah, it's global, yeah.
yeah, it protects. It doesn't. So even if she gets Perdegatoned out of out of there, it's like all right, you're gonna go from somebody else. I'll protect them. Yeah, so it's not bad.
It's cheap enough where you could, yeah. 25 points ain't going to kill you.
The other thing I was looking at was the uh, people have already been talking about this too, but the alternate. I think it's alternate rogue. No, start alternate
Alternate Beast?
storm.
Oh, Storm.
The alternate. Yeah. She says, yeah, when a friendly character with the X-Men keyword hits, after resolution, Storm uh, may knock back the hit characters. And then it says if a friendly character is named Jean Grey, opposing characters can't reduce knockback damage. I'm just thinking about the combination of that with the Cable Prime. If it's worth,
Yeah, Pulse Wave.
yeah, it's like okay, I'm
Yeah.
going to hit all your guys. They're all going to take 1 plus the 4 from him, and it's going to be plus another 4, or not another 4, another 1 from Storm. And I don't know, is there a Jean Grey that's cheap enough to play?
Nah, I don't think so. I think they're like 50 points.
Let's see, Jean Grey. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
all 50
50.
points. I don't know. Hellfire Gala one is 40.
I don't
What
know.
is
I
the
think that
Hellfire
alternate
Gala?
beast is really cool. It's got the friendly characters, the X-Men team ability. If they're gonna roll a single D6, the result is automatically a 6. I think that's really cool. Just to have, I automatically succeed on super senses.
Let's see. What the heck?
Oh no, that's for the team ability only. Never mind, I read that wrong.
Yeah, it's when they use it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for the X-Men team ability.
I was about to. I'm like thinking like, what the hell? Like
I was like, damn,
everything's a
that's so
6.
good. No, yeah, never mind. He's not that great. Alternate morph's pretty good though. He's basically like Black Panther.
He's Black Panther. What is going on?
He's like the Prime Black Panther, where he brings you back to life or whatever. If you have the X-Men keyword.
Who?
Once per game
Alternate
for all
morph
friendly
card.
characters with this trait. When another friendly character with the X-Men keyword would be KO'd, instead turn them to the last KO click and place them adjacent to morph. Oh,
Yeah, so you
okay.
keep them alive. It's only once per game though.
Yeah, but you place them adjacent to morph, so you can obviously just keep morph in the starting area and just be like, yeah, I'm gonna bring him all the way back. I'm gonna
But
heal
Morph,
him,
I feel
heal
like
him back
Morph's a
up.
good 50 points anyways. I feel like he's decent for 50 points. Oh, but he loses his other traits on that card, so he's not that great. He loses the shape shifting thing.
Let's see what's. Oh
Where you can pick Hulk or Magic or
no, but that's fine.
Quicksilver.
He's got the other power, the
Yeah,
other
you just have
ability.
to get whatever the hell you want from anyone else.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess that's true. I didn't read that other power.
yeah,
That's
because
what I
you
read,
would
guys.
choose. Yeah, you would choose copycat.
Yeah, and just have everything Copycat has.
Yeah, because it's like copycat's like I have everything everybody has, and Morph's like, cool, me too.
Morph's like, ditto.
Yeah, that's actually
Yeah,
that's actually not bad at all. Like, holy cow, that's pretty good. The only thing is he doesn't run through walls, so he sucks.
well, like you said, you're just probably
It's
gonna leave
really
him back
trash.
in the starting area.
Yeah, yeah. Just have Prime Row go up there, do a thing, and oh, she's gonna die. No, she's back here.
Nope, she's back in starting area, and now give him the ring, like the Indigo ring, so he can use support or something too.
Yeah,
Oh, you can
exactly. Give him
assist
the
the
ring
rogue, and then
so that way he and Copycat have support,
Yeah,
and yeah,
double heal, Rogue's back, baby. And then if you kill her
yeah,
again, I got Sissa.
exactly, exactly. Do it again, Absissa. We're doing. I can't, I can't, can't knock this bitch out. God damn it! No.
That's why you need the leader, baby.
get the fuck out.
Yo, but that's
I,
the thing.
I
Leader
think
is
there's a
so
world where the
good,
leader is really
but
good. Yeah,
nobody uses that guy.
I want to. I just
It's
I think he's
he's
really
so
good.
good. He's because even like you said with all the this Abscissa stuff, like it's just like no.
Yeah. Nope, he's dead. Bye. Yeah.
No. Yeah. Oh man. I forgot, what else
Yeah.
did that leader do?
I need to get
He's
that morph.
got
I need to get that
He's had like
alternate morph
Prob, I
card.
think. Yeah, he has
yeah, and
Prob, but then
he's got prob that gives an action token if he targets
Yeah,
an
the leader.
opposing character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's good. He's so good.
He's only like what 30, 35, something like that.
He's 35. Yeah, 35.
Yeah.
Got sidestep is good. Uh, he doesn't have any keywords that give him any free equipment that I know of. But
Doesn't matter.
yeah, does
You
not
make
matter.
sure they stay dead. You can play that scientist one shot with him, and then he can get another power.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's the yeah.
Yeah. I think that one shot's really good too. I actually pulled that one, so when a friendly
But
character
is
with a
it
scientist keyword KOs an opposing character, you may choose a standard power on the opposing character's card. This game, that friendly character can use the chosen power.
right? But that's the thing. They have to KO. They have to actually make the KO. Leader's not actually
Swamp
gonna.
Thing, Swamp Thing loves that card.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Swamp Thing's like another copycat. Has every single power.
Yeah, just stick Morph with Copycat, you'll be good. Or Morph with Swamp Thing.
Is there a way to give Swamp Thing the X-Men keyword?
Oh, I guess that's true. You gotta have the X-Men keyword. Yeah, Cyclops can
I
give anybody the X-Men keyword.
right. Yeah. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. I've like there's somebody that does it.
there you go. That's it. That's the new team. With Prime Lobo.
With Prime Lobo.
You gotta give them. You have to give them protected outwit. You gotta give them cosmic.
I think Lobo is gonna sneak in the top cut.
Lobo's really good. I was originally playing him, and then I kind of switched up once X-Men came out. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and
Do you
jump
think?
off this call.
All right. Thanks for jumping on.
Yeah, talk to you guys later.
Talk to you later.
Well, then last question for you, Maverick. Then, do you think the common leech is gonna make any type of showing or do well at Red, White, and Clicks?
Dude, that's a loaded question there, man. Is lead that one? I just don't think so. I feel like for 15 points, what he does is insanely good. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's gonna. First off, I think it's gonna slip players' minds of being like, "Oh yeah, that's actually not bad." But on top of that, I think that Leech just doesn't counter enough things, rather than just playing a copycat. Because he also just dies, and you're not obsessing him unless he's the only X-Men on your team. Because that would
Yeah.
be
I mean, he's got Mastermind though, right? So
yeah. I mean, lots of characters got Mastermind. Chair Panthers got it, and I haven't seen him use it in about like 20 games. So I don't know.
no, but I can agree with you and see what you're saying. Of like when I really think about it, I'm like, okay, what would Leech work against? You're like, okay, so he doesn't work against Rogue because you can't outwit Rogue. He doesn't work against Juggernaut because Juggernaut doesn't have, his safeguard outwit is not tied to his team ability. He doesn't work against Prime Abomination because for the same reason, his outwit, his protected outwit is not tied to his team ability. Um, Prime Cable and Mister Sinister both don't. Again, their outwit protection is not tied to their team ability, and they don't care if they can't use them. Um, Beetlejuice can't be outwit anyway. No free actions, and I don't think he's going to care that much that he can't use Mystics. So
Yeah, and
yeah,
I mean,
perhaps.
sure he cooks what collector, but like that still doesn't get past the stop click.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, yeah,
Like what
you
you're gonna
still have to
outwit
deal with
him,
that.
and then he's gonna hit stop click, and then it's like, oh, got it all back, baby.
Yeah, and Leech can be collected in one turn as well.
That is that as well. And collector wouldn't mind having some leech powers, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, just him getting stealth and is, I think, just worth it in as it is.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think of the newest set that just got released, Strange Tales?
Let's see. Oh, they did just put it up. Um,
I think Lord of Vampires Wolverine is absolutely goated. I Then that guy, I definitely am gonna play him. You get him top dial turn 1. Like, that's crazy.
I don't know why it's not loading for me. Every other character is loading for me, but when I click on the Wolverine, it's not loading. Oh, there we go. There we go. It just came up. Just came up. So, I mean, I understand that you can get them to click 1 on um on turn 1, but it's not. I don't know. Is that the best use of your time?
I don't know. It's super easy to get them to it. That's the thing. Because everyone that shares a keyword gets the X-Men TA, and then they can all heal them.
Yeah, but it's a power action to do that. So it's not just like, oh, you get them to full dial. It's like, yeah, but that's your whole turn. Kind of like taking actions to use get the Beetlejuice tokens. It's like, is that like people aren't really doing that turn 1 anymore?
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like it's good. Like I want to play it. Like that actually, it seems good enough just to me. You might not get them top dial turn 1, but you get them at least to like what, click 2 or 3. Yeah, that's still good. I mean, he still has traded super senses, and stealth.
Yeah, but it's like if your plan is to get him to heal him up with the X-Men team ability on turn 1, assuming like regular X-Men team ability, no no autonomous characters or anything like that. If if you're planning on saying, well, maybe at least 3 power actions for X-Men, and then you can hit with Steel Energy and heal to the top click, during an Alpha Strike. Even if that's the case, um, I don't know. Uh, I don't know. I'm looking at this
Oh,
dial and I'm thinking back to what Alex used to say about vampire dials. It's like let's assume he even started the game top dial. Would you still play him? And it's like it's close.
yeah.
I feel like yeah, he's really good, but it's like he
If he was top dial at 90, you give him Animal Man. The guy can shred.
right. I understand. I totally get that, but like just saying like anybody can get Animal Man and be good is that's one thing. But again, it's like okay, it requires you to play 3 or 4 other characters that are just dedicated to healing him 1 click and then maybe damaging themselves 1 click. Is that worth it? I don't know.
That's what Leech is for.
Right, but again, they have to be adjacent to him to use the X-Men team ability. And I understand that yeah, you'd have to find like some people with sidestep and finagle them around. I don't know. I'm not sold on this guy.
I don't know. I like him. I mean, he's not gonna win a big tournament, but I like him.
'Cause I just feel like you're like, you look at that top click and you're like, wow, that's so good. You're like, yeah, but if he gets hit 1 time, he's back to being kind of like
That is
garbage for
true.
90 points.
After he gets hit once, yeah.
Because you're like, okay, especially since he can be outwit. You're like, yeah, if they get rid of
Oh,
that,
it's gonna be a wit. I didn't even think about that. Oh,
yeah, he's got 20 defense. It's nice. It's like, all right, imagine.
yeah. You know what he feels like? He feels like Alan Scott. The more I think about it,
Yeah, and I almost prefer Alan Scott because he can't be targeted at range at all. So,
it's true.
and Alan Scott starts with a 20 defense. He doesn't start with 18 toughness. It's like,
That is true. That is true.
so
Let's
yeah. So
move on
again,
to
it's like
Doom
begs the
then.
question. Even if he started on click one, I don't know if even people using them. I mean, I feel like he would be. He lives a very long time for 90 points at if he started at click one. Lives an insanely long time, but his last 3 or 4 clicks don't really do anything.
This guy
Even his
dropped to a 15. I haven't seen that in so long.
yeah. I mean his actual starting click and his those his the clicks that he has leadership. He's just doesn't he does not do 90 points worth of work. When you're an 11 for 3, it's even if you're like, oh, he's got blades. Yeah, yeah, but I don't know. Maybe you also have to consider the value that he brings to the rest of your team because everybody else on your team gets steel energy as well. But
That's
um,
the part that I was interested about was the fact that he just gives out steel energy to like most characters.
yeah, I don't know. It's like I said, if your plan is to heal him up on turn one and then you go second, you're like, okay, so your preparation turn is just if you if you don't heal him, he's dead. And if you do heal him, you wasted all your actions healing him, and he's dead. Uh, I just don't like it. I feel like he's absolutely garbage going second, and even if you go first, he's tricky. But who knows? Again, this can very easily change if any autonomous non-unique character comes out, then we're talking something completely different. Because if you can use the X-Men team ability, and they also have to share a keyword with him, of course. But so if an autonomous character that shares a keyword with him that is non-unique and is cheap-ish comes out, then now we're talking. Because it doesn't really matter if you go first or second. Because if all of the healing that you do is autonomous, then it's really good.
So what do you think of Doom then?
As I was saying before, it's good in the sense that because he's just so squishy, even though he does have a uh, a way to prevent him from being KO'd, it still requires you to KO something else. Uh, but yeah, him not having any mastermind or rollouts or anything like that does hurt quite a bit. I'm just not. Again, it's an insanely strong global effect to prevent opposing effects from generating terrain markers. That's insanely strong. But he in a normal game, I feel like as I maybe I'm just not thinking about it long enough or hard enough, but I don't feel like he does anything else other than that.
One hundred
But I
percent. He
think,
won't do it. Yeah.
yeah, but I think in Silver Age, I think there's probably teams out there that just don't care. They'll say, I'll spend 75 points on a piece that won't do anything except prevent my opponent from doing something.
I don't know. That's a hard debate because there hasn't really been a thing where it's like we need to get through barrier in Silver Age or anything like that. Like the only thing
Yeah,
was the Dark Side, which Griever did a great job, and once Dark Side left, like no one really said anything or like really looked at like terrain, you know, affects Silver Age.
yeah. But other than that, I mean, the Loki stop click is crazy strong, but again, it's. I feel like it's one of those things, similar to Gauntlet Spidey, in the sense that, um, that
At least you could heal him off the stop quick.
yeah, yeah. But again, you can't heal him. Um, it's. I don't know how to say it. It's very easy for him to end up being just like Doom, kind of like a waste of points, where the games that he gets to a stop click, and you obviously are going to choose the effect of other characters can't use team abilities or special powers. So
Yeah.
you're building a team where nobody else on your team has special powers or team abilities that you care about. He's like, yep, you can definitely do that. But then, if there's ever a game where you can't get to your stop click for whatever reason, uh, now your opponent has special powers and you don't, which kind of stinks. But
Yeah, but if you're
again, there's
if you're building to not have special powers, the team wouldn't, would probably have more trait wise special powers. And that's also not to say that you wouldn't have any special powers, because there's characters with special powers that are like, if they lose the special power, it's not the end of the world.
right, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's a it's tricky to think about whether it's going to be possible to build that team, to say, all right, here's a team that basically doesn't use any special powers. It's like I can't even think of one that would work regardless if Loki existed or not. Like what pieces are good that don't use special powers? The only one that comes to mind right away is obviously Prodegaton, but
Yeah.
you'd have to be using pieces like that. Like that's your whole team. It's like pieces like Prodegaton and then Loki. And I don't know. I don't know if that's possible, and even if it is, I don't know how good that will
I
be.
just noticed something. The Strange Tales Frankencastle absolutely sucks.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of stuff that's kind of bad.
Like what is this? Just this is absolute trash for a super rare. He can only make them on a hit, and they only have 10 attack. That's so bad.
Well, he
I
doesn't have
mean,
to hit. It's just when he attacks. But you gotta roll sixes.
uh, but going to the good pieces, Tricentennial's back, and Bats is actually nuts.
Yeah, I really like giving out super senses to anybody with mystical. It's also really dependent on whether or not the Doctor Strange in this set is uh, going to be good. I mean, we do have a Doctor
Yeah.
Strange that, like, the set number one Doctor Strange is pretty good, but he's a support character, and
Well, we have the one from a collector's trove, which is really good.
I mean, no one's really ever used him. I don't know. If he's gonna,
Yeah, but if you use them with bats, they kind of like work together.
I don't know. I don't think he's worth the points. I think the common one from Strange Tales is better than that.
Really? No. For 40 points, you think that this one's better than collector's trove?
Yeah,
No way.
yeah, because it ties in right with the Tri Sentinels. It's basically it's another thing that if they use a specific free action or probability control, they target one of your guys, like, okay, just deal him a penetrating damage. Which for certain alpha strikes could just be it could just mean that you're just dealing more damage on alpha strike. So if you're going up and you're saying, I'm gonna hit, you know, my alpha strike, I'm gonna hit you, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna prob it, and then you still end up hitting, and they're just taking more damage after that. So I don't know. Well, we'll see what ends up working, what ends up doesn't working, and then, like I said before, based on whatever ends up winning out on at Red, White, and Clicks, we'll see if people copy and paste
Most
it
of
or specifically counter build it in the fall festive events and states as well afterwards.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of counter building and lots of copy and paste, like there always is.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing teams with. I think the magic. I don't know how many Tri Sentinels are going to be on a team. Maybe 8, 6 or 8,
Oh,
perhaps.
no, I don't, bro. Don't be outing them like that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a number like that because that way, on certain maps, if you play enough of them, you'll have to expand your starting area uh, considerably, and then therefore it'll turn
Little
into.
Galactus.
Yeah, I'm saying it'll turn into a situation of where their trait, instead of it saying, oh, when somebody uh, within range is given a free action, it'll just be with when somebody is given a free action because you'll have range to the other side of the map, because you'll be putting people like in the middle of the map or close to the middle of the map for setup.
You kill a character for using for flex. Turn one.
Yeah, and it's gonna. I mean, I don't think that's gonna be fun or healthy for the game if someone goes like, "Oh, I'm gonna sidestep," and you're like, "Oh, oh, oh, you said it. You said sidestep," and you're like, "Yeah, but can I take it back?" Like, no, you said it. You said they're gonna use sidestep, so you're gonna take 5 penetrating damage. You're like, well, come on, dude. Like,
I just pack up and leave. I won't even play that game.
right? But that's just it's gonna happen.
I haven't seen many people do that for a while. I haven't seen anyone be like, you can't take it back in the sense of like if nothing's actually happened, like I haven't seen someone do that in a very, very long time.
Yeah, but when the difference is, it's like if if the thing that you're doing results in that character being KO'd, right? Like it's one of those things like, yeah,
Yeah,
if
but
you
I mean,
knew
if
if
they
I
haven't just
knew it, I'm gonna
done it,
yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't have
you know
done
what
it
I
if I knew I
mean?
was not gonna get KO'd. And you're like, yeah, well, but it's so dumb when it's just literally you saying a word. Like, yeah, I'm gonna
But
charge
if you never
flurry. Like, oh,
touched the fig and
okay.
moved it, then I mean, it's not like
Yeah, but even
I
then
don't
it's like,
know.
yeah, I'm gonna TK, I'm gonna free TK with the ring of telekinesis. All right, you're dead. You're like, oh, actually, yeah, could I not do that? And you're like, no, actually, I want your character to be KO'd, you know? But so you're kind of it's again, it's like a feeling like a dick move either way. Because if you let them, you're like, okay, yeah, you can take it back, and then you're like, and then the game just becomes effectively like you have Beetlejuice, basically. You're like, okay, I just won't do any free actions then, so I'll never trigger the damage. I mean, but honestly, if you were playing Tri-Sentinels, how many would you use?
Well, I think I'd probably be okay with two, reasonably.
Just two, really? Ah,
Yeah, because like if I'm gonna sink so many points in the characters that just go dead, like I don't want to sink that much. I mean, it doesn't take much to kill these guys. It just takes one precision strike or just one penetrating damage. I mean, that's not super hard. If you're playing multiple of these guys, I mean, like, Pim Particles, Ares Bomb. Oh, and I have Exploit. All right, all these guys are dead. You've just scored,
yeah. Well, I mean, but scoring four
60
of them, and
points.
it's like, is that different than? Yeah, that's probably less points than your opponent would score otherwise.
Oh
If an
no,
Ares bomb only scores you 60 points, like you can score a lot more than that.
I think reasonably too. I just if you're going for like a crazy team like that, sure, you'd play more. But like I think on a reasonable normal team, I think two is pretty good. Not only one. I think that they're super solid to just at least play one. You know, but I think playing multiples of them like crazy amounts, you got to really build for that. And it's like that's just not my type of team.
Yeah,
I think
I just
Beetlejuice,
think it's once
is
you
like
got to
sub.
get to a threshold of what's being played uh, in the game that wants to use free actions and doesn't reduce penetrating damage, right? So, for example, if you're like, "Oh, I'm playing against Beetlejuice," and Beetlejuice is like sidestep, and you're like, "Oh, how much damage would you want to deal Beetlejuice?" Like, well, you want him to be dead, so you want to play like 6 or 7 of these guys. So, because if your opponent goes, "Oh, well, if I use a free action, I'm only going to take 1 penetrating damage," and they can only do that once per turn. So I'll use a free action with, uh, somebody, that doesn't, care about the damage or something. So if they take that, then they can't use it for the rest of the turn, or whatever. I don't know. And then, but if with every free action your opponent goes, oh, if I give them this free action, they're just dead. Then that means I can't give anybody a free action because I don't want anybody to just die from that happening. But again, if the punishment's only 1 penetrating damage, you're like, oh, okay, it's
That's true.
Same thing. Like if they're like, oh, I'm gonna, someone's like, I'm gonna charge, you know, charge Quake or something. I don't know. And you're like, okay, that character's and if that character doesn't have invincible, they're just dead because they've used a free action from charge Quake, and then every Tri-Sentinel that they've KO'd also has Mystic, so they're going to take basically 2 penetrating damage per Tri-Sentinel. And you're like, okay, so again, which that just says, oh, I can't use free action. I don't know. But we'll leave it at that. Pack it up, lock it down, see what happens at Red, White, and Clicks. We'll see if Prime Rogue or Prime Cable takes it. I think one of them is gonna.
As X-Men product. That's another question.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, because as we all know, wink, wink, that Red, White, and Clicks delayed the shipments of X-Men to every store just so they would be the first ones to get it. No, but it is odd that WizKids is really dropping the ball on these distributor issues and things like that, especially when they're
I mean, the
going
last
on and on and
that was good though.
yeah, when remember when they posted those Lantern Legacy articles about overseas and domestic product and distribution and things, and oh yeah, don't worry guys, there's a perceived shortage. There's no shortage of Lantern Legacy. We have it all in the warehouse. And and they're doing the same thing with X-Men. Like, what do you mean there's a shortage, guys? We have a ton of it right here. And you're like, well, can you ship it to us? And they're like, no. Like, what?
Yeah. Take about 3 to 4 business days.
Yeah. All right. I will talk to you later, guys.